to listen to the non-white guy first, and then the white guys will come and talk. Okay? So that's how we're going to schedule all arranged. Well, it's great to see all of you together. This morning you were over in the Marriott listening to the business aspects of Nu Skin, right? Yeah. So that's really exciting stuff, and then you're coming over here. Now you really have to pay attention. So obviously all of you are fully sort of knowledgeable about the business, and today we're going to talk about our products a little bit more. So Dr. Steve Wood, Kevin Fuller, and Dr. Paul Cox, they're all going to give you incredible information about all the products related to what do they have a particular field. And I think you're going to find it's true. Greg says, bring out your notebook, because we're going to drop a couple of gems onto you, and those gems are the first time ever that you're going to hear about it. In fact, we didn't even tell the morning session guys. She's laughing because she was here in the morning too. Anyway, so let's go through this a bit more. You all heard about Ageloc, and you all heard about this anti-aging science that we do using the Ageloc approach, because we are rather different from the rest of the competition. But just on a personal level, I just want to share a little bit of history with you, because it might be useful to sort of understand where Pharmanex came from. Because Pharmanex as an entity, including myself, we actually, particularly for the new people who are attending this particular conference, we never knew what this whole business about, network marketing and direct selling was all about back in 1995. And that was the year that we founded this company that we named Pharmanex. And just a bit of trivia for all of you. The name came from, this is a bunch of scientists now, okay? These are not marketing people. We didn't have enough money to go hire a marketing team to name the company. So we just sat around in Los Angeles and in our shorts and sandals, and probably had a couple of beers. So we decided, what are we going to call the company? And we came down with this name was because we wanted to say that this is a company about the next generation of pharmaceutical company. Because all the founders, including myself, we came from the pharmaceutical industry. We developed drugs, and not the illegal kind, okay? The good stuff. And at that time, we didn't know Colorado was going to make it legal, so we didn't go to Colorado, we went to California. However, we named the company Pharmanex, and we think this is the future. Because when we were in the drug industry, what we have been developing, all of us as pharmaceutical scientists, were drugs that can actually treat a particular disease. Okay? So it's almost like have the disease and we'll give you a product. And we thought, that's great, but there may be a far more potent or even more powerful approach, and that is to go and see whether we are able to develop products that can actually prevent the occurrence of a disease at a young age, or at an age where you should have the most enjoyment out of your life with the help of these products. So we are more into before a disease happened in your body. And that is fundamentally the reason why we started Pharmanex. And also at that time, all of us together in aggregate, we knew a lot about natural products. For example, a few of us, we actually have a good knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine herbs and so on. So we gather all our knowledge together and say, fine, one thing that we must do is not to go for synthetic chemicals to make our products, but to stay in the natural ingredients world. So there was another premise or cornerstone that we used to establish Pharmanex, and it's great. So all together, all our scientists together, we raised about $46 million telling that particular story. We never sort of expected to raise that amount of money to create this unique R&D engine that we call Pharmanex, to make sure that we use our R&D to make quality pharmaceutical grade nutritional supplements. And that's the story that we told, and that's the story that we use to produce our products, and finally have those products available in 38,000 stores. Yeah, and we went on for about 3 years, and then suddenly there was a new company that came. There's a company that came and visited with us, and this company was called Nu Skin, and that was back in 1998. And when they came and visited with us, frankly, for some of you new people, which is the first time if you have heard of Nu Skin, you may or may not have my reaction when I first heard of Nu Skin, is that why are we listening to a company that cannot spell an English word as simple as new? Okay, but it's our fault more than anything else, and hopefully your visit will tell you, and you've listened to it in the morning session, about the business aspects of this company, that indeed this company is very strong and is very committed to making sure that it provides the best opportunity for all of you. And we'll be trying to add to it by telling you a bit more about our products. So, Nu Skin came, and in 1998 said, fine, whatever it is, we got acquired for that amount of money in 1998, and ever since then, the company has been so committed to making sure that you have the best products possible that they have continued to invest. And if you had listened to Truman, for example, yesterday, he would have mentioned the number of $1.5 billion that we have invested in R&D and all the other innovation projects that we have undertaken over the years. And he is absolutely right. There's no other company in this particular industry and that has the ability to even think about spending $1.5 billion to continue to develop innovative products. So we continue to grow, and hopefully what you're going to hear today from Dr. Steve Wood and Paul and Kevin and so on is really the result or the outcome of this sort of innovation that we continue to explore and utilize. So that's the history of Pharmanex. Now, this is a motley crew. We have about 75 scientists in Nu Skin, both on the skincare side, developing those skincare products, and also on the nutritional supplement side. And they are all in white lab coats, and just to impress all of you, they are in fact scientists, and other companies tend to put people in white lab coats as well to tell you they are scientists, but what they don't tell you is that in the evening they tend to change to a brown coat, and because they have to clean the building. So, yeah. So the point is, with our 75 scientists, the most important thing perhaps we hope you appreciate is the fact that they come from a variety of scientific expertise. Yeah? These are not just chemists, although chemists are some of what they think are the cleverest scientists in the world. We do need other types of scientists. So we have biologists, we have immunologists, Dr. Steve Wood is a nutritionist, and so on. So collectively, these types of scientists work together to develop the products that we have in Nu Skin. Without this kind of collective wisdom, if you will, of their specific skills, I don't think we can develop products such as Youth or Ageloc Me and so on. So clearly, this kind of knowledge is so powerful that I think, once again, seldom will you find it in any other competitor. And what does it really tell you? And hopefully, when you walk out of here, today, especially the new people, what you learn from us, I'm hoping that we are indeed the difference demonstrated, insofar as we do what we say, and not so much in terms of just saying what we say. And many companies in our world will say anything possible to appeal to the audience, but I think at the end of the day, it's just a facade. It's almost like a movie studio with very little solid foundation behind it. And we are hoping by sharing this kind of information with you, it is our demonstration and our sort of substantiation of what we say is actually what we also do. In science particularly, and if we are going to call ourselves a science-based company, science is one field and it's one discipline where you cannot say science is something that you actually do, because without the doing, you do not have the ability to develop the evidence to substantiate any of your products. So, and this is what we have done using our Ageloc Science, our so-called genetic approach, right? If you look at our competition, what they have been doing, even today in this 21st century, is to use an approach. It's almost like been there, done that, is a dinosaur. And that is to develop what they would call anti-aging products that merely treat or merely cover up the signs of aging. It's a very old-fashioned approach. It's already, I mean, it should never be used in this day and age, in 21st century knowledge of science, to keep using that kind of approach. So what we have done over the last 4 years is to make sure that we incorporate the latest scientific thinking into our anti-aging approach. And that's the approach that we call Ageloc. It's more than a brand name for us. It's more than a marketing label. This Ageloc represents all that we do in our attempt to understand the sources of aging. And we now know that many of these sources of aging are found or absolutely related to the genes that we have in our body. Okay, that's the first step. If we look at what's happening in the aging process, everything seems to start at the genetic level. And why we are so excited about Ageloc is that the more we understand about the genetic role in aging, the more we can create even more and more powerful products as we go forward. And when you do that, then you are creating anti-aging products that provide meaningful benefits and not just symptomatic relief. So, and we are excited, and commercially and on the business level, the reason why Ageloc is so powerful and exclusive to us is not so much in terms of the products. The products are outcome of what we exclusively own. And that is the largest genetic database, okay, or gene expression profile database that is related to the aging process. And that's one of the reasons why we actually acquired LifeGen in 2011. This is a little biotech company that's been doing sort of aging research for the last 30 years. So we started on an exclusive collaboration with them. And then over time, when we first brought out our first Ageloc supplement called Vitality, we're starting to see that an acquisition is a way better way to protect this so-called database for ourselves and not to have it available to potential competitors in the future. So we acquired it, and it is dynamic. This database grows every time we conduct a scientific experiment. Okay? So the more data points we put into the database, the more powerful it becomes. So it's a very dynamic database. And even at this point in time, I think on the next slide, no, we don't have it, but I'll tell you, the database right now consists roughly close to 500 million data points. So it's when you look into this database, you just know it has the potential to help all our scientists to develop the next generation of anti-aging products. And here is the manifestation of the power. Up to this point, over the last 5 years, we have launched both on the skincare side and on the nutritional supplement category, several Ageloc products. And the latest one, which you're going to hear a bit more about from Dr. Steve Wood, would be the product that we call Ageloc Youth. You're going to hear something really exciting, because some of the things that he's going to tell you, I've never even heard of it before. All right? So it is really mind-boggling insofar as what we have learned about youth. And this is not just something that we dreamed up. This is something that has been sort of, you know, it's based on substantiation and hard scientific evidence. And you're going to hear a lot about it from Steve. And I hope when you take the notes, some of the things that he says are going to be very, very important to explain why youth give you the benefits that you're experiencing when you take youth. But I will instead, on the other side, talk a little bit about me. Okay? No, not me, this me. Okay. So this is the product, the skincare anti-aging system that we call Me. It's a comprehensive system. But most importantly, this is the first time ever in skincare where you can provide, or a company can provide to all of you, the ability to customize skincare by you, just for you. This is the power of Ageloc Me. And you're going to hear a lot more from Kevin as well, how we came about developing this particular product. But meanwhile, I'll show you this video. This is a marketing video. It's visually very nice, and we just watch it a little bit. But importantly, this Ageloc Me, as it shows you all the various parts of the device. You can see how pretty it is. But Ageloc Me is about first time ever that we have been able to design this system, not just for us, but in the whole industry, and it's garnering a lot of awards. This is what started it. When we look at each and every one of you, you come from different parts of the country, and many of you are from different ethnic groups and so on. And we know, for example, the Asian skin is different from Caucasian skin. And each type of skin will require a slightly but significant differences in making sure it stays young. So that's the notion. That is perhaps the seed that started our thinking. And from the scientific side, the new skin scientists have been thinking, gee, over the years, we have discovered a lot of interesting active ingredients, yeah, that we can put into a skin product. The challenge they have and the frustration that they had was the fact that they were never able to use those ingredients if we develop a product and put it into a jar. Because as soon as you open the lid of the jar and expose the contents to the atmosphere or to light, those active ingredients start to degrade. And therefore, giving us the inability to incorporate this to a one-size-fits-all type of product. So the more we talk about it, the more frustrated we became, and we said we must find a way to use these active ingredients because they're really good for the skin. How can we somehow design a system that can actually protect the ingredients before and just have them be available and exposed to the environment, if you will, at the time of use? Then they will continue to be active because you already applied to the skin within minutes. That's another idea that came about. So we sat around, and Kevin will tell you a bit more about that story. But after all that discussion and all that blood, sweat, and tears, I guess, we developed this system. It's a 3-step system. We solicit your help because you know your skin best. Yeah? You've been using skincare products, you know what works and what doesn't. So we're going to ask you a few questions through this application we put into a smartphone. And from those answers, we can deliver to you a combination of 5 cartridges that ultimately will be just for you. Okay? And those are the 5 cartridges. And when you insert these cartridges into the device does a magical thing. It mixes all those cartridges together into a droplet that is multi-layered. And that's the magic. Okay? And I will go into it a bit more. But fundamentally, what happens is that this device, as I mentioned to you, now contains active ingredients that we could not put into a jar. All right? And the reason, and because we are able to do that, we can provide, for some of you, higher levels of these active ingredients at the time of use. So that's the first success. And the combination, or the combinations available from these 32 cartridges are close to about 2,000. So there's no way each and every one of you will not be able to design or to choose a set of 5 cartridges that is perfect for all of you, for each and every one of you. All right? There's no way. Out of these 2,000, we know you will find a combination that is optimal just for your skin type. So that's what we have. So really, with this Ageloc Me, it's almost literally almost telling you that you are taking the lab they are visiting up there and putting it into your pocket. Yeah, you can take it home now because you have the Ageloc Me device. And you now have the ability to participate in choosing and selecting the skincare regimen that is optimal and that suits your skin. So that's what we have, right? Now, the engineers, if we get one of our Me engineers up there, he will tell you that the outside is less important than the inside. He will get so excited that he will spend the next hour telling you how great he is as an engineer. Because he and the rest of the other engineers we have, they develop a system, and it's sort of true. They develop a mixing system that the world of skincare has never seen before. Yeah. This is the mixing mechanical system that when you activate the device, it produces and creates this, what we call a micro droplet that is multi-layered. Right? So, and this is what, under the microscope, I'll just go quickly to that, it looks something like that. It's a 40-layer droplet. You can't see it with your eyes, but under the microscope you can literally see a 40-layer droplet being mixed, being created by that mechanical system. You can't do this with your hands. If you take these anti-serums and the moisturizers and you physically push it out with your hand, you will form an entirely different droplet. Right? And there's a very important reason for this one-of-its-kind unique micro-layering technology. Because what it does is that it helps each and every one of those active ingredients to be delivered in the most optimal way into the skin for it to act before the next active ingredient comes along and provides its respective benefit. Yeah? That's why the micro-layering is important. And graphically, when you look at it here, the top picture is what a micro-layered droplet will do. It enters the skin one layer at a time. Okay? By contrast, if you get this droplet and you create it with hands by just mixing it, on a piece of paper or whatever, you're going to have all those active ingredients all mixed up together, and they enter simultaneously into the skin. And that's not an efficient and effective way of delivering the active ingredients. So uniquely, the device is not just a dispenser. It is actually an engineering marvel that can create this 40-layer microdroplet. Yeah? So you can't do that with any other dispenser because those dispensers don't have this engineering that you actually don't see, but it's actually the heart of the whole system. So that's why you have it, and when you do that and achieve that, and you do a clinical study with the Ageloc Me device, you get results such as these, that over a period as short as a month, around about 4 weeks, you can see a gradual but very distinct increase in skin improvement. Yeah? Whether your face looks much brighter, whether you have fewer wrinkles, whether the complexion is more even. All these benefits can be delivered via the Ageloc Me system. And so it's great. And it's not just us, because before we launched, we have brought this particular device to close to 4,000 consumers around the world. And we asked them, use it and come back to us and let us know what you think. And I think to me, the most important thing is the second answer that they gave us, and that is that more than 95% of these 4,000 folks, they were willing to switch over to the Ageloc Me system from their current skincare regimen. Yeah? That's how attractive and appealing the Ageloc Me device is to, based on these survey results. So we just don't think that we have achieved the desired outcome from Ageloc Me. We sort of know now, because this is a fairly large sample size of 4,000 people who have used the particular device and came back with these kind of positive answers. So clearly, we are very sort of excited and optimistic about the success of this product, and soon it will be available to all of you. It's a great combination. This is the future, and what I hope you learn from Nu Skin and from the rest of the presenters we have set up for you today is that the future is not in the future. The future is actually here. The question is really whether you are willing to leverage of these exciting future products who are now going to be presently available. And both the youth product, we believe that you have seen some of the benefit taken with youth, by taking youth, and now soon you're going to have Ageloc Me coming along to complement another aspect of our business. And it's a powerful machine that will continue, I think, to drive what we have in Nu Skin. So, the last message perhaps I can leave you, every time you listen to what we talk about, whether it's from Steve or some other scientist, fundamentally I hope the commitment from us, from the scientific side of things anyway, and from the scientific team, that our products, the promise that we make to you, and the commitment, is the fact that we really believe that our products will never ever embarrass you. And that's the promise we do. Thank you.
This is Nu Skin.